So Indian Wells is over and Yannick Sinner, he was the champion there. Can he land the Sunshine Double? The draw is out and we're all waiting to find out which side is Daniel Medvedev gonna be on.
That's right, Ben. Part 1 is complete and we're on to part 2 in Miami. And Daniel Medvedev is the one to watch because there's going to be no Novak Djokovic here in Miami. Zverev, as much as he got to the semi-final, I feel like he was a tad disappointing in that semi-final against Sinner. But Daniel Medvedev was the real winner who was the eventual loser in the final because I think he really did turn up and he's shown that he is back to the level of Daniel Medvedev we saw a few years ago, the one who was going toe-to-toe on a hard court with Novak Djokovic. He was battling with your Rafael Nadal's, and he was unplayable at times on a hard court back then. Now he's going with two young guys in Carlos Alcaraz and Sinner. He's beaten Carlos Alcaraz, the guy who loves Indian Wells and who does so well here over the years, and then lost in some really tight sets in the final against Yannick Sinner. Could have gone either way. And I think you're right to say that Daniel Medvedev, you're going to want to avoid him because he is now inside the top 10, which is great to see him back in there. We've both predicted him as a top 10. But he is the real player where you're going to want to avoid him. He could play one of them relatively early because he's not one of the top seeds.
Yeah, you are correct. He is there. He is at number 10. He could have gone a little bit higher had he won that final, but a few points here, a few points there. But Sinner showed how clutch he is in the big moments yet again. It was like he needed that tournament to just close the gap again on the world number one, Carlos Alcaraz. And he now comes into this tournament, a tournament he has won before and been to the final twice before. He won it in 2024 against Grigor Dimitrov. Last year's champion was Jakub Mensik. He beat Novak Djokovic in the final. But you can see this one, Daniel Medvedev, he beat Yannick Sinner as well in 2023. So Yannick Sinner, three-time finalist. Daniel Medvedev's been a winner before. He's in great form. Alcaraz has been a winner before. He not in not such bad form. He's only lost that one match this year. And Yannick Sinner back to form. These are the three. They're all former champions.
Yeah, I mean, don't discredit Jakub Mensik, the reigning champion. He's in the draw. Could do something special. Of course, he beat Novak Djokovic here last year. But I would expect either one of them three, like you've said. They are the top three right now. And I'm really fascinated to see how it goes. I didn't get to have my verdict on the final at all. And I didn't even speak after the semi-final. But I know I spoke to you a lot off air. But since we're doing a podcast, I just want to say I thought Yannick Sinner tactically was amazing against Daniel Medvedev. I really liked the way he mixed it up. And in that first set, he was changing his return position quite a bit. I don't know if you watched it in full, but he was standing so far back. I've never seen Yannick Sinner so far back returning serve. And then at other times, he mixed it up and come a little bit closer in. And he had Daniel Medvedev second-guessing all the time. Despite that, nothing really separated them. But I feel like Yannick Sinner tactically was a little bit better than what a Carlos Alcaraz was. There were some people criticising Alcaraz, saying that he didn't perform and he had his level drop. You could say that maybe in spells, but I thought on the whole it was a really good performance from him, and Medvedev just deserved it. He was incredible in both matches, but in the semi-final he was really good, and Alcaraz just didn't have the answers for what Daniel Medvedev was doing.
No, he was just so aggressive. And that's the side of Daniel that we haven't seen for so long.
Definitely.
Pushing Alcaraz around. Alcaraz wasn't able to get into the court to start playing his aggressive tennis because he was on the run all the time. And he was doing that to Sinner as well. Credit to him.
He played very aggressive against Sinner too. I think he realised that he needs to take it to these guys. He's been too passive in the past. Same with Zverev too. And he went for broke a little bit. With Zverev, he made more mistakes and unforced errors. But Daniel Medvedev, it was a very good controlled aggression in which he was winning a lot of the exchanges.
Yeah.
And any rally that was going a bit longer, usually you'd expect on paper, the better player to win it. Medvedev was winning them.
Yeah, it was incredible. And only the best hard court player you would think would be able to beat a Daniel Medvedev in that type of form. And no surprises that Yannick Sinner now has won all 9 major hard court titles at just 24 years old. And you see there, Federer took him until 30, Djokovic 31, Agassi 32. So young to be doing such a major feat, and that just shows his domination really and how good he is on a hard court.
Yeah, and in terms of points now, 11,410. He's closed that gap with Carlos Alcaraz. He's not defending any points here in Miami again. So, yeah, every time Yannick Sinner goes deep in a tournament right now, he is closing the gap with Carlos Alcaraz for world #1 status.
Yep, and don't forget Roland Garros on the horizon too, and a lot of points to be capitalized on there. So this is the draw reaction from Miami, though. We're going to go through each of the quarters as we always do, and we'll be looking at Carlos Alcaraz, the #1 seed still. We'll be looking at his quarter first, and we'll be finding out which side of the draw Daniel Medvedev is on. Is he on the Sinner side? Is he on the Alcaraz side? Well, let's start off by looking at the seeds in Alcaraz's quarter. So, should we go through it?
Yeah, ridiculous. Really disappointed with this. You've got Marizan Fonseca as an opening match, and then the winner plays Alcaraz. I mean, it's not great for Alcaraz either, by the way. But this is an absolute, like a horrible draw. It's really bad for me because I need Fonseca to get some points. This is a big Masters event. Anywhere else in the draw, he's going to do something, surely. Casper Ruud, Alcaraz will be rubbing his hands together. He's not worried about him at all in the slightest. Kwame is very interesting. Of course, that's a young guy who we've been raving about on the Challenger Tour, who is looking really good, very powerful player. I think you went a bit too big saying he could be a top 10, but he's not that good.
I know.
I know we had a bit of a disagreement on that, and now I'm here bigging him up. But he is a really
I've gone the other way.
No, he is a bright talent, definitely. Bright talent, but he's no Alcaraz by any means. Interested to see how he deals in a big draw like this. Korda, no comment on him. He's hit and miss. Darderi, I think, super dangerous. Lehechka, Draper is coming back. Yeah, and all in all, I mean, this is a really tough section, I would say. Especially we've got Draper there, Darderi, Fritz, another one who can be very, very dangerous. Who would you fancy out of a Fritz and Draper to get out of that little section?
Tough, especially in Miami as well, because
Depends how hot it is, I guess.
Yeah, I think it will be pretty hot. But Draper looked pretty good in Indian Wells, and Fritz hasn't looked that good this year so far, apart from in Dallas. I think it was the only place that I've seen him really look okay. But then I think Seb Korda, he was the one who was maybe the better one there. Draper is a nightmare for everybody in this draw because he's 25th seed.
Yeah,
and it's a killer.
This is a top 10 player who's a 25 seed who, coming back from injury, does kill brackets. And unfortunately for Alcaraz, he's found himself with my beloved Marizan, who has beaten him before, Fonseca, a Draper.
We went close with Sinner, Fonseca, just recently at the last tournament. So he had the same result that Daniel Medvedev had against Yannick Sinner. Put that in mind.
You're telling me Fonseca could beat Alcaraz?
I'm not saying it's outside the realm of possibility.
Like your beloved Kwame, giving up on him.
I don't know who the qualifier is. He might lose to the qualifier. He's a very what do they call it? He's like a diamond in the rough type thing. So I think
the future.
Yeah, there's a really good player in there, but there's a lot I've seen after watching him after I bigged him up. I realized the error of my way is that I watched a few of his backhands go into the bottom of the net, and I thought, yeah.
Well, I'm glad I grounded you on that episode because it seems like you're seeing a little bit more sense. Maybe when we go on to the women's and we speak about Raducanu, you also see some sense because I've got a lot to say
Oh,
there.
oh,
This is not the time on the place for that. So let's continue with the draw. Hubie Hurkacz is an unseeded player. In other years, I would say that is horrible, but I feel like he's really inconsistent right now. Maybe he's never
yes.
really recovered from that injury on the grass.
Okay, had a little brief
Yeah, he
spurt.
had a blip of some form of recovery and then just fell off a cliff again. But no, okay, really tough. Let's go on to the next one.
So in Alcaraz's half will be da, 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 da. Lorenzo Musetti is the 4th seed. So this is the Musetti quarter. So there you go. And he has in his quarter Bublik, Vachereau, Echeverry, Tommy Paul, Arthur Fees, Kabuli, and Alex de Minaur, and some very interesting unseeded players in this section. We got Tsitsipas, Dimitrov, Manarino. Who else have we got? Berrettini, Brooksby. There's some really great unseeded players in this side.
There is, but I do feel that we're going to just see one of the bigger ones advance because none of them fill me with much confidence. I think
Mm,
the standout consistent player is either Bublik, which is crazy to say, but he has been consistent, and de Minaur. Musetti, he's had his problems, hasn't he?
his
Um,
injuries, yeah, that's
and
the
I don't even
problem.
know what's going on with him. So what happened in Indian Wells? He lost to Martin Fucsovics 7-5, 6-1. Yeah, he's not feeling himself at all. I mean, he was very good at the Australian Open. Took the first 2
Yeah,
sets against Djokovic and then went down in the third and retired.
yeah,
So I think it's just a torrid time for him. It's difficult to say what Musetti we're going to see. I was expecting really big things from him this year, but unfortunately, injury-wise, he's been suffering. So I can't say anything about him really until we know what physical state he's in.
yeah,
Tommy Paul, I feel, can be dangerous, but I'm more edging towards either a Vassar or a Fees than him right now.
yep.
Vassaro, I think, is with his cousin, isn't it? Rinda Kanesh, and they've just got to. Did they win the final?
I
Are they in the
uh,
final? Is it?
I know
Is it?
that they were in the final, that's for sure. I didn't
If
even
they won,
see if they
I
won.
saw they got to the final.
Yeah, because they knocked out. No, they lost the final.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they knocked out Djokovic Tsitsipas in the first round, I believe. I watched that match, but then
So
after
they
that,
lost 7-6, 6-3 to Guinard and Andreozzi. But
okay.
yeah, pretty cool. They got all the way to the final. Vassaro, I still think is fantastic. And Fees Dimonor, if we get that, I don't have any hope for Tsitsipas. Dimitrov, I'm not so keen on. I'd rather Kaboli over a Paul.
Ooh, yeah,
Um,
come on, Kaboli. Want a big tournament from him here
and
in
I think
Miami.
I could even predict something big, like maybe like an Alpha Fees to knock out Dimonor.
Yeah, we could have an all Italian what's that, like 4th round? We
I
could have
don't
a
think
Mus
we don't know enough about Musetti really right now.
we don't, but I think we know the abilities in there. If he is back and he is good, he definitely is
He
able
can
to
win
beat.
he can win this quarter, definitely.
But looking at this, I'm trying to look at de Minaur and see how he's done at this event before. 4th round is the best we've seen from de Minaur, but he is getting better all the time. It's up for grabs. Very difficult to call though, but you'd have to say, based upon consistency, I'd say de Minaur has to be the favourite for that quarter.
Yeah, or Bublik.
Maybe. Difficult to say. But yeah, I'd probably shy on the side of de Minaur.
The unseeded players are big names of the past. Your Struffs, your Tsitsipas, your Dimitrovs, your Manarinos, players we've seen on the tour for many years. I'm not really that worried about them if I'm a Dimonor or a Caboli. I
Mm,
think or a Fees. I think you'd be more worried about the other players we just mentioned on the other side. So your Fonsecas, your Marozans, like the younger players who I think they're more dangerous than this old guard now.
yeah, I think you're right because yeah, they've had more success in recent time, especially like people, even like Kaboli. We've seen him winning an event just recently. So all of this is great. All of this is good. All of this is the top half, and there's one name that we haven't seen. So that means we know where Daniil Medvedev is. He's on the other side of the draw, and he's not on the side of Carlos Alcaraz. He's on the side of Yannick Sinner. And he is, and I'm going to go to it now, he's in the Zverev quarter. So he's not in the quarter of Yannick Sinner. He's in the quarter of Sasha Zverev, and this is who else is in the quarter. So you've got Nakashima, Cerundolo, Lerner Tien. Now we're talking. Ugo Humbert, Davidovich Fokina, and Ben Shelton. They are the seeds in the Zverev Medvedev quarter.
Yeah, I'm just really shocked that before we went live here, you was telling me that Sinner's the favourite for this event with the bookmakers
Yeah,
over Carlos Alcaraz. That is just purely off that one result what happened at Indian Wells recently.
yep,
The one loss Alcaraz has had this in 2026. All of a sudden, he's not the favourite for the next event. And if you then put on top of that the fact that Sinner has Medvedev, so most likely Sinner may have to beat Medvedev and an Alcaraz, whereas Alcaraz would only have to beat either a Sinner or a Medvedev in the final. I find it really shocking that Sinner's still the favourite. I would put it as at the very least even, but maybe Alcaraz still the marginal favourite. That just goes to show how much people are really fancying Yannick Sinner to get the Sunshine Double and wrap up this Miami. He's won it once before?
yeah, just the once, but been to the final 3 times.
Yeah, so maybe that's something to do with it. The fact that he's got some really good results here in the past. Someone who else has really good results is Cerundolo. I forget what he did last year, but was it the other year? Like the many years he's done
I
extremely
think he got
well.
to the semi-final in one of the years, to be honest. He does like it in Miami. It does suit his game very, very well. He could be very much a banana skin, especially for someone like a Zverev, if he was to meet. And he has a very good record against
I
Sasha
think he
Zverev.
beats Zverev.
But Medvedev is a different animal, and he'd probably annoyed that he's not on the Zverev half of this quarter and he's on the Medvedev side, because I reckon if you swap them round and put Tien instead of Cerundolo, then it's a nightmare for either of those players, because Medvedev, the last player he wants to play is Lerner Tien.
Yeah, so Cerundolo quickly, he's got a 75% win record at Miami. It is his best tournament, the
Wow.
best big tournament out of all of them, including slams. And that is a semi-final in 2022, then a quarter-final, then a third round, then a quarter-final. So he's very consistent at this event.
Great.
Francisco Cerundolo is a player to watch right here. And he could be on a collision course with Daniil Medvedev early doors.
Yeah, that's a really tough matchup. But I think the way that Daniel's playing, I don't think he fears anybody right now.
No.
He looks like he's got an air of just like
I think
carefree.
Cerundolo is being an 18th seed. He's super unlucky that he's drawn Medvedev,
Yeah,
whereas rather than the other way around, I think Cerundolo is the real loser in this draw.
yeah, it's unfortunate. Lerner Tien, he's got Davidovich Fokina in this little section as well.
I think he's a winner.
That could be a potentially good one. Didn't they just
Nice
play?
draw.
Did they just play recently? I'm just trying to think. Did they play at Indian Wells
I
for
think
some
they did.
reason? I think Tien, yeah, he beat him in a third set tiebreak
Yeah,
at
it's really
Indian
close.
Wells. So that could be another close match that we get to see again. Kecmanovic has come back to a bit of form as well, but all in all, I don't see Zverev winning this quarter. That's what my big
Well,
takeaway.
I think he wins his side potentially. Go up. Is it Tien on that side though?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
Tien's
tough.
on that side as
I would like
well.
to see a Tien Zverev.
He's beaten
Zverev,
him before,
I think
so
I do think Zverev can beat Tien though.
yeah,
Still,
for sure he
let's not,
can.
let's not be too harsh on Zverev. He's still one of the best players in the world. But if you put a Zverev and a Medvedev together right now, 9 times out of 10, I'm going Daniil Medvedev.
Yeah, especially playing like this. I mean, Zverev took
What about
out
a Shelton? Could a Shelton disrupt the party?
We not even spoke about him really.
Because it's in Miami. I feel like he'll be quite hyped with the American crowd.
Yeah, it seems like this is his type of vibe as well.
This is an
Miami.
event for him. I feel like we've got the US Open, which towards the end of the year, but surely at this time of the year, I can't think of a better event for Ben Shelton than Miami.
I'm just trying to think how he got on there last year. I'm just gonna have a quick look at that now. 1 sec, just so I can find out if no, he's not had any good results here yet. So his third round was his best a couple
Okay.
of years ago. Second round, third round, second round. Doesn't mean it can't come good eventually, but he does prefer faster courts, and yeah, that's probably where he comes a little bit unstuck here.
Mm.
So interesting. Definitely a tough, or I'd say a tough quarter in spells, but I'm still the standout name in this one is Medvedev for me. There's some difficult names, but after watching what he did in Indian Wells, I think he can beat all of these players in this side.
Yeah, I think Cerundolo's a real loser. TN, not so much. And if we do get TN Zverev, it will be quite a good match. And interesting to see what level TN's at.
For sure. And let's
But
get
TN, another winner, really, here, because if you
yeah.
compare TN to a Fonseca, TN always, I mean, he's a higher ranked player. He's a seed for a start. But
Hmm.
TN, by being a seed, it's helped him out a lot. Look at what's happened to Fonseca yet again. Another horrible draw. He can't avoid Fonseca, either Sinner or Alcaraz early doors.
That's true. Keep playing one of the big two players in the world,
It's just
but
ruining it for me.
but it does test his skills against the best, and surely that can only make him better. So
Long
it's
term, Ben, but I don't need long term success. I need
this
him to be
year.
getting points on the board this year in 2026.
Well, if he beats Alcaraz, you'll be singing his praises. But he's got to get past Malazan first, and that's not an easy match either. Let's get to the Sinner quarter. He is on the side of Daniil Medvedev in the same half. And in Sinner's section, he has last year's champion, Jakub Mensik, in his quarter. We've also got TFO. We've got Mutet. We've got Nori. We've got Rindikanesh. We've got Felix Auger-Aliassime and Andrei Rublev.
Yeah, I would not be worried about this quarter at all if you're Yannick Sinner.
Pretty good.
I will be shocked if we don't see him advance to the semi-final.
Now we know why he's favourite.
But I'm going to put a big but in there.
Oh,
Jakub Mensik can beat him
well, we've seen it.
recently. And after that, he lost to Fees Mensik straight after.
Yep.
And he's been a bit up and down with his levels. But when Mensik is playing his top level, he can go and beat Novak Djokovic in a final on these courts. And we've
Yep.
seen him beat Sinner, a few months ago? Not even. So
Yep.
I think it's still someone you can never just overlook. And I would like to get a Mensik Sinner matchup, so Sinner can try and get some revenge, but it won't be easy. Do not just look at that and think, but by any means he's going to just come here and beat him easily. You never know with Jakub Mensik. That is a serious player.
He is. He's still so young as well. That's the one thing everyone forgets. He's been on the tour for quite some time, but
He's defending a lot of points too. Like if he goes out early, it won't be great for his ranking.
he'll be sliding. You can normally tell how good the quarter is based upon the unseeded players, and this one not as strong, I would say,
No, it's
based
not.
upon all of these. There's no real standout names. If I'm honest, Thomas
Players.
Mahatch is probably one of the best ones
What
there.
players?
Yeah, or Sebastian Baez. He's been a changed player on hard courts this year. Maybe bring up some of his stats
Yeah,
because
you can't just skim past him
no,
because we know
he's
he's a
so
clay
good.
quarter, but he's looking quite good on the hard courts.
It's
He's following
incredible.
the Cerundolo route. Something in the water there in
Yeah.
Argentina.
Yeah, I mean, look, Lehechka 6'4", 6'1".
Yeah.
Outrageous. Tabilo beat him 7'6", 6'1". Where are all these
That was on the
breadsticks?
clay.
Oh yeah, but
On the
still,
hard courts, it's just this one above.
great. He's been having great
He
results
had a
this
good
year.
year. Yeah, he beat Fritz in at the start as well.
Let's just go down and see some more matches. Yeah, look, on hardcore, look, he won all of these. Nava, Brooksby, Shelton. It's just
Did he not beat
just
Fritz?
on.
I made that up.
He went to a close tiebreak with
No,
Mens.
Fritz.
Let me have a look. He beat Wawrinka.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
did
beat
beat
Fritz.
Fritz at the
Beat
Australian, at the
Munar.
United Cup.
All of these are good. Like Munar, not an easy match at all. Straight set win. fantastic, really. On hard courts, he's been better than the clay, I'd argue, this year
Yeah.
so far.
Well, I mean, let's not get too carried away. I just think he's got potential. And Medvedev, though, look what he did to him in Indian Wells. 6-4, 6 love.
Yeah, there's levels to the game. Right, let's take a look at some of the routes through to the final. We'll be looking at the number 1 and the number 2 seed. So Alcaraz has a bye. Could be Fonseca or Marazan round 2, Korda or Mpechi Pedicard round 3, Darderi or Hachanov round 4, Fritz Ruud, Draper Lehechka in the quarters, Musetti, De Minaur, Bublik, Kaboli semis, and Sinner or Medvedev in the final, I would say.
It's a really hard draw. I mean, it's a really, really
Tough.
tough draw for Carlos Alcaraz, with the real saving grace in the whole thing is the fact that Daniel Medvedev's on the other side of the draw.
Yeah.
And really, if we're being honest, as much as it's a hard draw, you expect Carlos Alcaraz, Sinner, and Medvedev to beat everyone else apart from himself. So
Yep.
with that in mind, maybe it's not so tough because he only has to play a final where he plays one of them, whereas Sinner and Medvedev will have to play each other and then a final with Alcaraz. In theory, of course, anything can happen. But forgetting that, in terms of man for man, excluding the big three players, this is a really tough section. And I think this is the best of the rest. More so than all the other sections. This is my opinion, though. Obviously, people can disagree, but I think Draper's so good. Korda's as a player in there. Fonseca, we've already seen it. I mean, every single round, you can make a case for all of these players as super tough.
Yeah, I'd say it's like an opposite draw to Yannick Sinner because I think that there's so many difficult hurdles early on for Alcaraz. Whereas if you go to Sinner's one, it's sort of the reverse. And you've got Jumer, Mutet or Mahach, Rublev or Nori in the fourth, then Mensik potentially quarterfinal, and that's when it gets tough. And then
if it is a Mensik, it's really tough, but there's no guarantees Mensik gets there. If Mensik gets there playing well, we're in Sinner's tournament starts at the quarterfinal stage. That will be really interesting and tough, and not an easy match at all. But like you say, the first 4 rounds, I think he'll do it at a canter.
Yeah, and then if the final 3 matches are Mensik, Medvedev, Alcaraz, then super tough. So you'll have earned it. If he manages to get there all the way to the final, win the Sunshine Double, he will have earned it. But like we've said many times on all of these draw previews and reactions, we might not even get these matchups. We talk about them, we talk a good game, but then we end up with TFO, Sinner, and then he just wallops him or something like that.
Yeah, who knows? Well, there we go. That is our draw reaction anyway for Miami. Let us know your thoughts in the comments section. Who do you think has the better draw? Do you think Yannick Sinner can get the Sunshine Double? Do you think Alcaraz is going to come back with something? Medvedev maybe? Or someone else completely? Let us know in the comments section. We'll give some predictions at some point and, of course, do some commentary on the women's. Just a quick word on Raducanu. She's pulled out through illness. What's your reaction to that? Are you upset?
I am, because she was actually defending quite a lot of points from this is probably her best tournament from last year. So, yeah, that's.
Have you got any details on the illness? What it is? Cold, is it?
I think she's been carrying around a big bag of money and it is hurting her back. She's now got run down due to carrying it around. But big shout out to me at the end of this one. I said Sinner and Sabalenka to win, and it came true. So obviously, don't call me.
It's a really big claim. I don't know how you really thought that Yannick Sinner or Sabalenka can win tournaments.
But you went Rebecca or Alcaraz. I mean, we were both fairly close, but I got them both correct at the start of the tournament.
Well done, Ben. I'm really proud of you.
Thank you very much.
Stay tuned to see what Ben predicts for Miami, because I can guarantee it won't happen. Definitely not twice in a row. So if you haven't already, please hit the like button, subscribe, and we'll see you for Miami. And there's no Raducanu, I'm afraid, for Ben and all of the fans.